All right, hello class. Today we're going to cover Math 131 Objective 4. For this objective, we are going to solve linear equations containing parentheses and or fractions, okay? So for part 1, we're going to start with the fractions. So let's take a look at example 1. So an easy way that we talked about how to do this in Math 130 was to find the LCM and multiply that LCM by the whole equation, okay? So if we look at our denominators, 2 and 4, the LCM, which stands for the least common multiple, is going to be 4. So we can multiply both sides of the equation by 4. Or you can write it where each individual term is multiplied by 4. However you write it, and I'll write it different ways so you can kind of see the different ways. But we just need to make sure that we multiply everything by 4, okay? So 4 times 1/2 x is going to give us 2x. 4 times 4 is going to give us plus 16. Bring the equal sign down, and 4 times 3 over 4x is going to give us 3x, okay? Now we're going to continue by solving for x. We can subtract 2x from both sides. That's going to give us x equals 16. All right. If we look at example 2, in our denominators, we have 6, 4, and 3. So that LCM is going to be 12. And if you do not know how to find the LCM, let's go over it quickly. The numbers in the denominator, we want to think about the multiples. And the smallest multiple that they have in common is what we want. So for this one, it's going to be 12, okay? Now we have to multiply every single term by 12. So we have 12 times 5 over 6x minus 12 times 1 over 4 equals 12 times 2 over 3x minus 12 times 2. So the first one will have 10x minus 3 equals 8x minus 24. Okay? So the same way in example 1, we multiply each side by 4 and we kind of, wrote it to show that. We're doing the same exact thing. You could have written it like that with each side multiplied by 12, or you can do it how I just did it, where I showed each individual term multiplied by 12. Either way, everything has to be multiplied by that LCM. So now that we are at this point, we can do a couple of steps on each side. And we'll be left with 2x equals negative 21. And when we divide both sides by 2, x will be negative 21 over 2. Okay? So this is how we do these problems with the fractions. We want to find the LCM and we want to multiply each term by that LCM. Now for part 2, we're going to look at parentheses, and I added brackets as well. So for example, 1, we have 27 equals 9 times 5y minus 2. So whenever we have a situation like this where that number is outside of that parenthesis group like that, okay, we're going to have to distribute, meaning we're going to have to multiply that number by everything in that parenthesis group behind it. So we're going to have 27 equals 45y minus 18. From here, we will continue by solving for y, for whatever variable we have, okay? We'll get 45 equals 45y. And of course, when we divide both sides by 45, we'll get y equals 1, okay? Example 2 is a little bit more complicated. We added some more stuff. So this negative 2, we're going to have to distribute, multiply by the a and the negative 6. And this negative 3, we're going to have to do the same thing. We're going to have to multiply it by the a plus 5. When we do that, you should get 8 minus 2a plus 12 equals negative 4 minus 3a minus 15, okay? So when we do that, now we can combine the like terms on the same sides, okay? So the 8 and the 12 and the negative 4 and the negative 15, we need to combine those first before we start moving things across the equal sign, okay? Now that we're at this point, we can start doing our both sides stuff. So we can subtract 20 on both sides, and we can add 3a on both sides. That is going to leave us with a equals negative 39, okay? Now let's look at one that has some brackets. So for example 3, we have negative 3x minus x plus 8 equals 5 times 4 minus 2 times 3x minus 1, okay? So an important thing to know about brackets is we want to work them from the inside out. So we wouldn't want to try to distribute that 5 until the brackets are fully simplified. So on this left side, we can go ahead and distribute that negative. On the right side, again, we're going to have to keep simplifying this until we get the brackets fully simplified. So after we distribute that -2, we need to combine these like terms. On the left side, we got some like terms that we can combine as well. So now we have -4x minus 6 on the left side, and on the right side, we can finally distribute that 5. Okay. So now we can start moving things across the equal sign, okay? So we can add 30x to both sides. And we can add 6 to both sides, okay? That is going to leave us with 26x equals 36. And when we divide both sides by 26, x is going to be 36 over 26, which will simplify to 18 over 13, okay? So I think with these 3 examples, you all have a good idea of the type of problems that you will have using the parentheses and the brackets. You just want to make sure that you distribute correctly, and when you have those brackets, you want to work it from the inside out. You don't want to jump in and try to distribute the 5. You need to start with the -2, okay? When that is simplified out, you will combine the like terms, and then you are able to mess with that 5, okay? So that is part 1 and part 2, how to solve linear equations containing those parentheses, brackets, and fractions for Math 131, Objective 4.